the testament of fate. Anna stood frozen as the piercing wail of sirens filled the air, their blue and red lights flashing like a chaotic dance of grief and disbelief. Her world had shattered in an instant. The love of her life, Alexei, lay motionless on the cold, unforgiving pavement, surrounded by a sea of confusion and whispers. Everything felt surreal, as if she were trapped in a nightmare from which she couldn't wake. Her mind raced with questions, but one thought rose above the rest. Why? Why had this happened? What had led to this moment? Amidst the chaos, a shadowy figure lingered at the edge of the crowd, watching intently before disappearing into the night. Anna barely noticed, consumed by the weight of her loss. But somewhere deep inside, an ember of suspicion flickered to life, whispering that there was more to Alexei's death than met the eye. After the tragedy, Anna found herself in a whirlwind of emotions: shock, grief, disbelief. Her home, once filled with laughter and warmth, had turned into a place of emptiness and echoes. Daily routines seemed meaningless, and every corner held memories of Alexei. Each morning began with the hope that it was just a terrible dream. But reality reminded her again and again. Phone calls and condolences from friends and acquaintances only intensified her sense of loss. Anna felt lost in her own home, as if it had become foreign. One day, while sorting through Alexei's belongings, she stumbled upon his diary. The pages were filled with sketches and notes about the future home they had dreamed of building. Anna felt her heart fill with pain and longing, but at the same time a realization came. She had to continue the work he had started. A few days after the funeral, Anna discovered that Alexei had left her not only all his savings, but also the unfinished project of their dream, the house they had planned to build together. However, Alexei's family believed they had a right to part of the inheritance, adding even more stress to her life. Anna felt a wall of misunderstanding and accusations surrounding her. Alexei's parents were convinced that their son could not have left everything to her. They believed she should share the inheritance and did not understand her desire to complete the project. This marked the beginning of their conflict, which threatened to escalate into a prolonged legal battle. Nevertheless, Anna was determined. She knew she had to do everything possible to turn Alexei's dream into reality. This was her only way to preserve his memory and cope with the loss. Deciding to take on the completion of the project, Anna faced financial difficulties and the need to make decisions that had once rested on his shoulders. She was supported by an old friend of Alexei, Dmitry, who offered to help with the construction. Dmitry had always been a part of their lives, and his presence was both a comfort and a reminder of what she had lost. Together, they began work on the project, and each day brought new challenges. As they delved deeper into the construction, Anna discovered inconsistencies in the project's finances. Fearing that something was amiss, she and Dmitry began to investigate. Their investigation revealed that Alexei had been involved in a real estate deal that had gone wrong, entangling him with dangerous people. Anna felt a mix of anger and sorrow. How could he have kept this from her? Each revelation brought her closer to the painful truth, but also deepened her resolve. She needed to know everything. As they continued their investigation, they learned of Victor, a local developer with a reputation for being ruthless. Meeting him was like stepping into a different world. Victor was charming, yet intimidating, and Anna felt a knot in her stomach as she introduced herself. "I'm here about Alexei," she said. trying to keep her voice steady. His demeanor shifted instantly. "You should stay out of this, Anna. It's not safe for you to be involved," he warned, his eyes narrowing. Anna's heart raced. "You knew him. You must know what happened. Please, I need to understand." Victor leaned back in his chair, a sly smile creeping across his face. "Understanding comes at a price. Are you willing to pay it?" Feeling trapped, Anna glanced at Dmitry for support. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice firmer than she felt. "Let's just say I have some unfinished business, and I could use a partner," he replied, his tone suggestive. "Help me with my project, and I'll tell you everything about Alexei." Anna felt a surge of anger. "You're using my grief to manipulate me," she said, standing her ground. "I'll find out the truth with or without you." Dmitry placed a reassuring hand on her back, guiding her out of the office. "We can't trust him," he said quietly, his voice filled with concern. "But we can find another way." As they left, Anna felt a mix of fear and determination. They had to continue their investigation, but it wouldn't be easy. The more they uncovered, the more dangerous their pursuit became. They received anonymous threats warning them to stop digging, and Anna felt the weight of her choices pressing down on her. Days turned into weeks, and the stress began to take a toll on Anna. She struggled with nightmares and anxiety, haunted by visions of Alexei. One night, overwhelmed by grief, she stumbled into the garden, tears streaming down her face. "Why did you leave me?" she cried out to the night sky. "I need you." To her surprise, a warm breeze enveloped her, and for a fleeting moment she felt his presence. It was as if he was reassuring her that she was not alone in this fight. The next day, a breakthrough came when they discovered a hidden file on Alexei's laptop containing crucial information about the deal he had been involved in. It detailed the financial discrepancies and names of those who had been pressuring him. Anna felt a surge of hope. They were getting closer to the truth. However, the more they uncovered, the more dangerous their situation became. One evening, as Anna and Dmitry were leaving a meeting with a whistleblower who had worked with Alexei, they were followed. A black car trailed them through the dark streets, and panic set in. "Drive faster," Anna urged, her heart pounding. Dmitry's grip on the wheel tightened as he accelerated, weaving through traffic. They could see the headlights of the car behind them growing closer. "Hang on," he shouted, taking a sharp turn down a narrow alley. Anna's breath caught in her throat as they sped through the darkness, the looming threat of the car behind them. Finally, they lost their pursuer, but the adrenaline left them shaken. "We need to go to the police," Dmitry suggested, his voice steadying. "This is getting too dangerous." But Anna hesitated. She didn't trust the authorities. What if they were involved? "No, we can't. We need to get the evidence and confront Victor ourselves," she insisted. The tension between them grew. Dmitry wanted to protect her, while Anna was driven by her need for the truth. "You're risking your life, Anna. I can't let you do this alone," he implored, his voice filled with concern. "I won't back down. I owe it to Alexei," she replied firmly. "We're in this together." As they continued their investigation, Anna discovered that Victor had connections to a criminal organization that had been operating under the radar. Each piece of information they gathered painted a clearer picture of the danger surrounding Alexei's death. Eventually, they devised a plan to confront Victor, armed with the evidence they had collected. They arranged to meet him under the guise of wanting to collaborate on a new project. The tension in the air was palpable as they entered his office, determined to confront him about the truth. "Anna! Dmitry!" Victor greeted them with a predatory smile. "I see you've been doing some digging." Without hesitating, Anna placed the documents on his desk. "We know what you did to Alexei. You're not going to intimidate us anymore." Victor's expression shifted, and for the first time, anger flickered in his eyes. "You're playing a dangerous game, Anna. You have no idea who you're dealing with." "We'll expose you," Dmitry added, his voice steady. "You can't silence us." The confrontation escalated, and Anna felt the weight of fear in her chest. But she stood her ground, fueled by the love she had for Alexei and the desire for justice. "You took everything from me," she said, her voice unwavering. "I won't let you get away with it." Victor's demeanor changed, and he leaned back in his chair, a calculating look in his eyes. "You think you can win this? I have resources you can't even begin to comprehend." Just as Anna thought they might be in over their heads, Dmitry's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and then looked back at Anna, his expression serious. "We need to leave, now." Without hesitation, they grabbed their things and headed for the exit, knowing that the confrontation with Victor had put them in even greater danger. As they stepped onto the street, a chilling realization hit them. They were being watched. The next few days were a blur of anxiety and fear. They stayed in hiding, frequently changing locations and relying on trusted friends to help them. Anna felt a growing sense of helplessness, but she refused to give up. With each passing moment, her resolve only grew stronger. One night, as they huddled in a small apartment, Dmitry turned to her. "We can't keep running. We need to take this fight to the next level," he said. "We need to go public with what we know." Anna hesitated. Going public could mean putting herself in even more danger, but she also understood that keeping silent was no longer an option. "You're right," she finally said, her heart racing. "Let's do it." They contacted a journalist known for exposing corruption and organized crime. After weeks of gathering evidence and preparing their story, they finally felt ready to go public. The day of the interview was filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. As they sat down with the journalist, Anna poured her heart out, detailing everything she had uncovered about Alexei's involvement in the real estate deal and the threats he had faced. "I need people to understand what really happened," she said, her voice steady. "I want justice for Alexei." The story made headlines, bringing attention to the corruption and crime that had been hidden for so long. Public pressure mounted, and authorities were forced to act. Investigations were launched, and arrests were made. For Anna, the fight was far from over. She continued to work on the house, determined to finish what Alexei had started. The project became a symbol of her love and resilience, a testament to the life they had shared. As she hammered the final nail into place, Anna felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had faced unimaginable challenges and emerged stronger. The house was more than just a building. It was a tribute to Alexei and a testament to the power of love and determination. In the end, Anna found solace in the knowledge that she had honored Alexei's memory and uncovered the truth. She had turned her grief into strength and her loss into a legacy that would endure.